Hello, this is the What's at the Center of Earth channel, and you're listening to the first recording for Tony
Kris.
and we will be discussing what could possibly be at the center of Earth. And our founding beliefs are that the Earth is flat, so it's not really the center of the Earth, it's the middle of the circle, of the plate, I guess. Um, Me and Kris have been studying, I guess, this subject for the past 4 or 5 months, and we kind of came to the conclusion that the Earth is flat after seeing a few videos and realizing that the logic and the science proving that the Earth is actually flat makes much more logical sense than believing the Earth is a sphere. And that's a whole other topic, but the focus of mine and Kris's concentration and goal for this channel is to have a concerted effort to find out what is actually in the middle of the flat Earth. Because nobody can travel there, I guess that militaries have it blocked off, and it's not on any. We don't believe in satellites, so it's not on any photographs from planes flying over that area or balloons mapping out the topography. So no one truly has any idea in a, you know, referenceable document to go and study what is there. There's a lot of myths from hundreds of years ago, but you can't go to a bookstore, you can't go to a plain website and have dialogue with known people that have a deep understanding of what's truly there. And here's Kris.
And it seems like the government has really controlled who can or cannot go into the area. So there is very little exploration done thus far.
Yeah, and that's a red flag right there. It's like, why would they be hiding something unless it could somehow affect their game plan? And I don't know whether it's positive or negative for why they'd be hiding it, because who knows what the real truth is. Maybe it's to protect us, maybe it's to control us, who knows. But we just want to get to the root of the situation, because life is a mystery, and truth for me is the one thing that I feel like I can pursue, and I enjoy it. It's one of my main enjoyments of life. So for this discussion today, our introductory discussion, we're gonna go over a video that we watched. It was called Flat Earth and Hollow Earth Conspiracy. What is at the North Pole? It's a YouTube video, and it's called Lazeria Map Collection, and you can see it in our What's at the Center of Earth resources. It's a video that we linked to, and it's about 2 hours long, and it's well worth it. And my first point that I wanted to go over, okay, so it seems like before a few years ago, there was no conscious awareness that, among a lot of people on the internet community or on YouTube, that the Earth was flat. Now it's becoming more prevalent. People's views are shifting, and this video must be from before 2 years ago, when the flat Earth became more normalized and known. So the people in the video are talking about the hollow Earth theory, and when we first started this, I didn't know what to search for, so I'd look for what's at the North Pole or what's at the center of the Earth. And that led to a few side videos that talked about the hollow Earth. So in my view, the hollow Earth answers the question for what is at the center of Earth, except they view it still from the notion that the Earth is a sphere gravitating in the solar system. And I no longer believe that. So I think that you could join these two schools of thought and studying groups together under a flat Earth view of our world, and also what's underneath that. So I guess it would be hollow because it's empty underneath it. So I think they both can be combined.
As you watch this video, they go through a couple different cartographers from many years ago. One specifically, Matthias Qantas, refers in a couple of his maps to the inner Earth. And it points to maybe a possibility that there was more knowledge about the fact that there is something in the center of the Earth, and maybe they knew more to it than we do today.
And that's weird, Kris, that they would know back then more about what's at the center, and then now that information would either be hidden or lost. What do you think?
I don't know. That's a good question. I wonder if anybody out there listening might know the answer to that. There's some that could possibly believe that it was hidden, maybe because what is there is they think is too much for us to handle as the general public. Otherwise, there's things there that they need to use for their own purposes, and they don't want us to know what is there.
Yeah, they could probably just kind of set it aside, sort of, and especially with all the stuff in schools that talks about the space programs and outer space stuff. So it's easy to kind of forget that stuff. Okay, and I think that aliens, as most of the flat Earth theories talk about, it was just a thought from that video. Aliens are terrestrial and they're from the underground. That makes more sense to me.
Well, being from the perspective that we do not believe in the planets, obviously, if there is such thing as aliens, they would have to be coming from some other level beneath our Earth. And being that they hold the North Pole and the area around it so secretive, it does make you wonder if something isn't beneath us.
Yeah, but like when they show, like a lot of people say that there's going to be disclosure that there's aliens, or that's what all the Hollywood propaganda about alien invasion movies are about, but maybe they're just prepping us for a new type of religion or worldview, and they're going to use whatever organisms are underground as kind of a supporting evidence for extraterrestrials. And it's just strange that now people are saying that the Earth is flat, and it's kind of sabotaging maybe hundreds of years of that end goal and end destination that they've been working for and laboring to shift our mindsets towards. Okay, and so what would discovering the center of Earth do? I think it would reveal truth about our existence, but it makes you wonder, if this is a lie, then are lies okay? Is it protecting us? Are sometimes lies okay?
I think that you need to let people choose what information they come across on their own. I don't think protecting information is beneficial to most people. Knowledge is power.
But so to continue with the, I guess, purpose, sorry, listeners, this is new. So the goal of this discussion is to talk about that video, about the ancient maps. What are they called? They're Lazeria map collection. And yeah, they were from like the 1500s to about the 1800s, and had a lot of explorers and discoverers that mapped their routes along the upper or central portion of the flat Earth, and it just a lot of them say that it's warmer at the center, which I guess if there's a sun at the center or on the inside, then that would keep it warm.
They do describe around the center of the Earth 4 separate islands, all frozen completely. And between those islands, there are 4 rivers that seem to never completely freeze. And they have a very strong current north. And then as the farther north you go, the warmer the water and temperature and area seems to be.
Yeah, from that sun, which really, I mean, anybody that believes in the heliocentric model of our planet, and then people that talk about the inside of the Earth having another heat source that's like the sun, that to me completely ends the discussion that the sun is a massive body that we revolve around. And yeah, it's possible it could just be a body in orbit around the top of the flat Earth. So it's like whoever could experience that, or even if that's talked about, it opens up the question that the sun's just a floating orb that heats and lights everything on the surface of the Earth and also on the inside. And that the host of that map collection video, he seemed to have a lot of insights because he would talk about the different discoverers' logs and their diaries from their explorations and their notes, and a lot of them talked plainly about how it was like just normal beaches and warm land the closer you got to the center. And then the question is, what if the military prevents, or the world government prevents you from traveling there? What are they doing there? Are they just blocking it off? Are they working with other civilizations down below? And in that video, the host talks about how in Ireland there were myths of the heroes traveling to the inside of the Earth through the North Pole or whatever, and speaking with giant beings and living there for a year or 2 years, and everything was like paradise, and then they came back out. So if those same types of beings were there, then why would they be working with a controlling government on the surface?
That's an interesting question. I wonder if maybe our government is preventing access to that area because they are in fact doing travels and exploration into an underground layer.
Yeah. And you just wonder who would be kind of guiding what group. This is the surface, or are they both respected parties? Does the underground civilizations, are they
running the show?
it's like, are they running the show, or what's up with that? And I guess we've seen videos of people that have tried to go to the North Pole, and they said that they were shooed away or they were prevented from traveling there, but is that really what it's like, or is that just a few videos and a few personalities that say that you're prevented from traveling there? Because maybe you can, maybe those are just plants or moles or whatever that are kind of used to scare people away, and it's actually legal or whatever, possible to travel there. I suggested that it'd be fun to disguise as polar bears, but that idea didn't go that well.
Do your best, Aurora.
Yeah. But yeah, that video was pretty interesting.
He was really in depth with the maps. He really knew his stuff and knew how to describe them well. And it was interesting how they changed over the course of even a few years. Countries that were once on maps from several different map makers were no longer in the maps. So it makes me curious as to what happened to these countries. Were they not there to begin with, or what?
Oh yeah, the Friesland, because on all those maps from like the 1600s, there's a country, I think close to Greenland. It's a small island called Friesland, and nowadays I guess it's not there. So, I mean, maybe it was just like a fake island that they used for stories, and so they added it to maps like we do now with the fake, you know, planets and stuff like that. It's like a mythological thing they use for in their culture then, or maybe it sank into the ocean, or maybe it still exists, but they don't allow people to go there. Who knows? That is bizarre though.
Well, the video that we watched was really interesting. It brought a lot of key points, and made us think a lot about, explore different ideas of potentially what could be in the center of the earth. This is the first video that we are talking about. We certainly will be watching more and discussing those ideas. But it certainly was worth watching. Like I said, it was 2 hours long, but a lot of good, accurate historical information, and definitely interesting.
Oh yeah, so we encourage everybody to check out that video. It's called Flat Earth and Hollow Earth Conspiracy, What is at the North Pole, Lazeria map collection. It's in our What's at the Center of Earth playlist, resources playlist. We're just gonna close this by, because we're both God-fearing and we both believe in God, saying prayer. So if God could please